Hey there, welcome once again. This is Frank and you're welcome to TVL. Now I'm sure you must have seen this. In fact, I'm sure it's familiar to everyone. All right, you know, this writing, this design on the wall, musical design, and I'm sure you know that it's related to music, but maybe you've seen it all your life and you don't have a clue what it means. Well, today I'm gonna break it down for you, okay? So at least you have that knowledge. It's very good. Knowledge is very good. All right, so there are two ways a singer or a musician can play music or learn music or perform it. One of the ways is using this sheet music. It's a sheet music. It's like a musical language. You just give it to the singer or the musician and they just start playing what's in there. It keeps you really disciplined. You know, you can replicate it anytime, any day, as long as you have that. And the other way is by ears, which is the most common one we know. So we can have a very good singer who doesn't have a clue about sheet music, yet is very good in singing, deliver. And this also goes to choir as well. In fact, most traditional choirs or singers, you know, they still use sheet music and they're very disciplined. It's very good. So that brings me to the next thing. Which one is more important? Well, none. They are both important in their own way. For instance, if that singer who sings by ear or plays by ear, maybe a musical instrument, if they're free, they're not limited, you see, and this is a great skill to be able to do that. It's on the inside, right? But if they go to a place where sheet music is handed out, they may become limited and they may become paralyzed. All right, they may not be able to cope. All right, and like I told you, some places they still use it. And what about the one that uses sheet music? Take away the sheet from the musician and they may not be able to do much. They may not be able to cope. So it's good to know both, right? It's good to know both. Like I said, playing by ear or singing by ear is the most common one we know. All right. So I'm bringing this knowledge to you here on TVL. Let's begin by breaking them all down, these musical notes. So we have a couple of them. Let's start with semi-breve. Semi-breve is the one you see right at the top. All right. Semi-breve is just a round circle with a hollow inside. All right. So I'm gonna just go through all of them and then tell you what it means. So the first one is semi-breve. The second one is minim. The third one is crotchet. The fourth one is quaver. The fifth one is semi-quaver. All right. So on their own like this, just written out like this, they only give you one information, and that's length, duration. All right. They have to be placed in lines like this for you to be able to know what that sound is. So just the way they are like this without being placed on lines, they only give you duration. For instance, let's go back to the first one, semi-breve. Semi-breve just tells you that the sound, whichever note it is, lasts as long as a bar. Okay, I've talked about timing. I've explained these things in a certain video. In fact, I'll put it at the end of this video. So if you want to understand more, you can click it and watch it, okay? In a bar, we have four beats, all right? In a bar, it's just like you say 60 minutes make up an hour, all right? So let's say the beat is like this. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, irrespective of the tempo. So you can have also a beat that goes. So that's a slower tempo. So irrespective of the tempo, the semi-breve lasts as long as a bar. Remember, a bar is made up of 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so it lasts that long, semi-breve. And then the next one is the half of the previous one. The next one, semi-breve, the next one is minim, lasts just 2 beats. So instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, like the semi-breve, it lasts just 2 of the beat. 1, 2, and then it stops. And then the other one is half the value of the previous one. So we have semi-brief, minim, and then crochet. All right, crochet just one, lasts that long, not very long. And then the other one is even shorter, half of the previous one, and so on and so forth. Okay, let me give you an audible example. Let's say we have a beat going like this. A semi-brief will last for 1, 2, 3, 4. Listen, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, again, on a higher octave. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, maybe you didn't hear it that time. So let's go again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it stops. Okay, and then minim lasts just 2 beats. Okay, so 1, 2, and that's it. And then crochet lasts only 1. Okay. All right. We're gonna play a song at the end, which is "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star." Has lots of crochet in it. All right. So the next thing we're gonna talk about is these lines they're placed on that actually gives you the value or the sound itself. Okay, that's when it takes 2 minutes. It gives you duration. This note gives you duration, and then it gives you the sound itself. All right, so the name of the lines is called a staff. All right, so you have these lines going like this, horizontal like this, and then you have these notes placed in them to tell you what the sound is. There are names given to the lines. Okay, if you notice, there's 5 lines, 5 of them. All right, so each of them represents a note, a sound. The first line at the bottom is E. The next line is G. The next line B. The next line D. The last line F. So I remember way back then I didn't have any clue about this, but one thing I remembered back in primary school, or is it secondary school, one thing I can remember is every good boy deserves favor. That's what I used to remember this E, G, B, D, F. Okay, so you can make up anything as long as it helps you to remember the order. All right, so if you look at the spaces between these lines, you notice that there are 4 spaces. Now these 4 spaces are names of notes as well. Okay, so you can find a note inside or between 2 lines, and these spaces you can remember them just by the way it's spelled out, F-A-C-E, face. So if you put the 2 together, every good boy deserves favor, and the face between the lines, you have all the notes accordingly, like you're reading the alphabet. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, all right, and so on. Okay, great. Like I told you, I'm not gonna really go deep into this, all right? So if you want me to talk more about this, all right, just send me a comment or a message, all right? Great. So the next thing is there's something else called a clef that tells you what octave it is. All right, is it a high octave? Is it a note like around here, or is it a note down here? Well, we have 3 of them, but 2 are really common. We have the G clef and the F clef. The G clef is for high pitch. The F clef is usually for bass instruments or bass singers. Okay, F clef. Great. So we're just gonna major on the G clef. Now, if you see the way it's entangled around the G line, it just tells you where the G is. And with this G, you can find your way around. It helps you locate the notes more easily. Let's hear how it sounds. Place it just semi-brief along just on the lines, all right? So each one will last for a beat, all right? So we'll start with E. We know that this is E, all right? That's the note E. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then to G, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then to B, 2, 3, 4, and then to D, 2, 3, 4, and then to F. Okay, let me play that without saying anything, okay? So, E, So that's the notes you're seeing: E, F, E, G, B, D, and F. All right. So that's just an example. So if we were to play Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, we would use crotchets, because when you count, we'll first of all get the beat. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. So that's the tempo. These are the beats, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be the beat for Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. All right. And it's funny because A, B, C, D, E, F, G has the same melody as Twinkle, Twinkle. They are in fact the same. It's just different words. All right. Da 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 da. Anyway, that's by the side. Okay, so we know that it goes. Every note you sing goes with a beat each, apart from one of them, maybe along the line, and I'll show you that. Okay, so when you look at the sheet, you may need to watch this over and over again for it to make more sense to you. So it goes twinkle, twinkle, little star. So star at the end lasts for 2 beats. So we'll use minim there that lasts for 2 beats. All right. So the first twinkle, the first 2 notes are on the line below. By the way, that line below is an extra line called ledger lines, just in case, you know, there's a note that fell outside of these lines. You can extend it with a ledger line. Now, this may, if you've never heard about these things or never had knowledge about it, may sound confusing, but the more you watch it, the more research you do, the more it will make sense. And if you want me to explain further, like I said, you can let me know. All right. So that's why you find something just below a crochet below the staff. Okay. So the first 2, twinkle, is CC. That's why it's placed on that line. Twinkle, twinkle. All right. So it goes twinkle, twinkle. So that'll be the key. Yeah. Twinkle, twinkle. So the next 2 notes is placed on G. Twinkle, twinkle. And that's why you find the crochet placed on the G, and so on and so forth. So if you play everything, it would sound like this. So that's the first 2 bars. Then how I wonder, if you notice, the note below the G is F. So we have 2 F. And then we have 2 E. And then we have 2 D. And then we have that one that lasts for 2 beats. All right. So the next line, then up above, up, again. I hope this is making sense. All right. So what happened is that the notes now placed on the staff tells you the sound. So the first twinkle is placed on the C, the line C. All right. Twinkle, twinkle is placed on G, the line G. All right. Is that making sense? Great. You know what? I'm going to stop here. All right. I may do further videos, but based on you, if you want to learn a bit more about this, or is there a place you don't understand, I'll slow down, like especially this part where you begin to play it. All right. Because I've practiced, I learned it, and I can flow. All right. So if you need me to explain more, I'll do that for you. All right. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.